The route for the 2016 Tour de France has been revealed, and next year's route, despite actually starting in France, will still visit a total of 4 countries. The riders will cover 3,517 kilometres. There are 9 mountainous stages, of which 4 are summit finishes, 3 transitional stages, 2 individual time trials, and a total of 7 which look set to finish in bunch sprints. Oh, and there are 28 classified climbs, which is a few more than there were this year.
Yeah, my word. Now, it all starts, as we've known for some time, in Mont Saint-Michel in Normandy. And the first stage is actually a very good opportunity for the likes of Mark Cavendish and Andre Greipel to take the first yellow jerseys of their career, because it is a normal sprint stage. We don't have to wait long, though, for the first uphill finish. In fact, we only have to wait until the next stage, because stage 2 finishes at the Côte de Glacerie in Cherbourg. And that's actually very close to any of our British viewers if you fancy a quick trip across the channel to have a watch.
Yeah, and no doubt that will be the stage where Peter Sagan swaps his rainbow jersey for the green jersey, which he'll probably keep for the rest of the race, and he might even get the yellow jersey there as well.
He might, or he might finish second, like he did this year.
Anyway, the GC riders will no doubt be very relieved to see that the first week looks a little less stressful than what they've had to deal with the last 2 years. So there are no cobbled stages, and a quick look at the stages that they do have to deal with shows that there's a very small chance of any crosswind, so I'm sure they'll be pleased about that.
Yeah, in fact, the race heads south very quickly indeed. We only have to wait to stage 7 before we see the first real mountains in the Pyrenees on the stage that's about 162 kilometres long, roughly, on the way to Lac de Péole. The race will cross the Col d'Aspin. And next year, it's stage 12 that forms the Bastille Day stage. And the organisers, ASO, have brought up an absolute corker. The race finishes atop the legendary Mont Ventoux, which is back after a 1-year hiatus. So that is going to be a big one for a French rider to win, for sure.
Yeah,
Pinot, maybe?
And probably by the end of that stage, we'll have a very good idea of who's going to go on and win the Tour de France.
We will. In fact, interestingly, the winner of the Tour de France has already been in yellow by Bastille Day on, what, the last 4 editions or something?
Yeah, although next year, the day after Ventoux, we have got the first of the 2 individual time trials. Now, it's 37 kilometres in length, and it starts in Bourg-Saint-Andéol, finishes at the tourist site of Caverne-Port-d'Arc. And Christian Prudhomme, the organiser of the race, has said that it looks very similar in profile to what the riders will be contending with just after the Tour de France at the individual time trial at the Olympics. So no doubt the likes of Chris Froome, who was very vocal about the lack of time trialling kilometres this year, will be very pleased at its inclusion.
Yeah, well, presumably he's going to be rubbing his hands in glee, because 37k could serve up some pretty significant time gaps amongst the GC favourites, couldn't it? Once again, the 3 weeks will culminate with 4 hard back-to-back days in the mountains, including the second individual time trial. Now, it's only 17 kilometres in length, but 10 of those kilometres are uphill. So that's going to be pretty tough too.
Yeah, another big test. Now, of note for any of you who are hoping to take part in L'Étape du Tour next year, that will cover exactly the same ground as the penultimate stage of the race. So 146 kilometres, starting in Megève, finishing in Morzine, and going over a few climbs, barely a metre of flat en route. But the most famous is the last one, the Col de Joux-Plin, before a 12-kilometre descent down to the finish.
That is a brilliant climb, that. I'm quite interested in the sound of that, if I'm honest.
So it will finish on the Champs-Élysées as ever, but I've also noted that there have been a couple of rule changes. There will still be time bonuses in next year's race, but the KOM competition for the polka dot jersey has changed slightly. Next year there will be double points, not just for the final climb of the big stage, but also the penultimate climb.
So that should mean that a situation like this year, where Chris Froome won both the yellow jersey and the polka dot jersey, won't happen, because it will favour the breakaway riders. So potentially ASO were quite embarrassed this year, or indeed the sponsor of the polka dot jersey was absolutely furious because it didn't get worn on the final podium in Paris.
Anyway, I think it's probably time for our predictions.
Okay, well, I'll predict who is not going to win then, and then you can predict who actually might win.
Go on.
Actually, to be fair, Dan, I did actually see you having a little cheeky look on some, betting websites. Who have you twitched over?
Well, as you know, I do like a long shot. So way before the route was announced, and before Tom Dumoulin even did so well at the Vuelta, I put some money on him at 500 to 1. So I'm hoping he does it. But I did have a flutter on Fabio Aru at 20 to 1. I just think the course looks pretty good for him. But my head still says Chris Froome.
Yeah? I wonder, Alberto Contador, final year, blaze of glory. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd quite like to see Contador up there. Sure, Matt would as well. Anyway, it looks like it's going to be a very exciting race yet again, with the likes of Quintana up there as well. And we've got loads more content for you to do with the Tour de France. So firstly, just up here, we've got our top 10 facts of the Tour de France, which we shot during this year's race.
Yeah, we did. Or to see Dan drag himself up Mont Ventoux as part of our epic climb series, and you did make it look epic, Dan. You can get through to that one just down there. Yeah,
and to subscribe to the channel, Global Cycling Network, GCN, it's absolutely free. All you've got to do is click on either one of us.
And then next year, when the Tour de France happens, boom, you're in the right place.
Yeah. See you in Cherbourg. How long are you keeping us waiting for?